All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to step into our advanced getting started training. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and welcome you all to the call. Excited to see everybody today. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of our brand partner timeline. And I'll tell you, this is the goal here. And I'll say somebody loved you enough to invited you to get started with Partner Co, right? And hopefully you're already seeing that it's starting to change your life. You're already benefiting from the products, from the business. You're really gaining. And I say, if somebody trusts you enough to then join you, our job is to make sure that we set them up for success. So these are the steps that I do with the people that join me to help them start their business right and set them up to have the most success possible. So first of all, upon enrollment, I'm going to send this little, I'm going to scroll down. Here we go. I'm going to send that start here that we showed in the basic getting started. I'm going to send that to every single new person that joins me, but I'm going to do more than that. After I send it, I'm going to sit down with them and I'm going to help them get all of those tools installed. So now I might ask them to start it before I'm there because it can take a minute, but then we're going to sit down and I'm going to make sure that Boards is installed properly. I'm going to make sure that they're on the right Telegram channel, that they're in the different boosting groups, all of that. And then I'm going to help them make their first post so that it's done, right? And if I really want to set them up for success, I'm actually going to sit there and I'm going to help them schedule their entire first week of posts. They're 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Now, why? Well, because I know that that first week is the hardest week. Do you guys remember how scared you were the first time you put something out on social media? I know how scared I was. This business literally provides for my family. And the first time I went to post about it, I was like, oh my gosh, do I really have to do this? This is scary. So for a brand new person, we all know how intimidating that bit can be. So if we schedule that first week with them, well, then it's done. They're going to be moving boxes, making money before they even have to think about it again. So that would be our goal. I'm going to invite them to Partner Co Nation. I'm going to make sure they're on Telegram, and then I'm going to invite them to the different Zooms that are going to set them up for success throughout the week. Now, that's step one. That's the day they enroll, or, within 24 hours if, they get started late at night or something. Next, as soon as they start moving boxes, I'm going to walk them through the customer conversion flow. I'm going to tell them exactly what they need to do on, when that first box gets sold, what they need to do in terms of, week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, and how that whole entire process works. And again, if you've got questions on that, it's in the Getting Started training, the entire flow, everything is included in there. So you can watch that again. I'll take about 3 minutes, and that will help you get more familiar so that you can help them get more familiar. Next, when they achieve Gold and Ultimate, I'm going to set them up on their subscription, make sure that they understand how that works, when it's going to come out. I'm going to make sure that their direct deposit is set up properly. And then I'm going to show them where to look and how to leverage their next order in order to earn the extra new volume bonus on that next order. And then lastly, once they start a team, I'm going to show them what to look at in their back office so they know where their volume's at, what reports to look at so they can make sure that they're helping their team, maximize where they are, and who to reach out to in their team in order to support them on their journey. So that's kind of the timeline that I follow with my brand partners. Now, first things first, I want to get you paid, right? That's a big deal. So if you have not set up your direct deposit, it's pretty easy, but just know it's banking. So we've got to do some confirmation in there. But the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to log into your back office. Now, I recommend doing this on a computer. That might be because I'm middle-aged and I can't see it on a phone. So I'll tell you that I do everything on my computer when I can because it's bigger. So I will recommend that you do it there. But if you can see on your phone, you rock it. But you're going to log in. You're going to go to My Money, and then you're going to go to Partner Co Pay. Now in there, it's going to open up this menu that's got a bunch of different things in here. You will need to add your social security number, but we're going to focus right here on that partner copay. You click that plus sign and it's going to open up your direct deposit menu. Now, first of all, we got to make sure that we are getting 100% of our check deposited in our account. This is the number one mistake that I see, where people will say, well, I set it up, but I didn't get anything. And so we'll go look and this will say 0%. Or I've seen 10%. I've seen a variety of numbers in here, but I just say, ask yourself, how much of your paycheck do you want? I want all of mine. So I'm going to say 100% right here for direct deposit. You're going to enter in all your banking information. And then again at the bottom, and you'll hit submit here. And then at the bottom of the screen, it's going to ask you to make sure that this says 100% again, and then you're going to hit save. So just realize you're going to have to submit and save. You have to click through a couple of different buttons to get to the final part. But what you're looking for is 100% and 100%, obviously all your banking information, and that you submit all of that. And that will make your paycheck show up in your account. And we're looking at direct deposit because we want it to deposit in your bank account. So keep those things in mind. Now, the next thing that we need to do in order to make sure that we get paid is to set up our subscription. And again, this is a question that I get all the time. People will say, well, how do I know when my week is? Like what's my week? How do I know when to have it? All of that. So you are going to scroll down on your main dashboard. So you log into your back office, scroll to the bottom, and you're going to see this text that says your qualifying cycles. Now, if right here below your qualifying cycle, you just see some red sentences, it's red right there, that means you're out of qualification. And so what I would recommend there is to call customer support. I would call Wednesday or Thursday. Monday, Friday are going to be the busiest days for customer support. So I would highly recommend don't call them on Mondays if you can avoid it. But if you can call, Tuesday can be busy as well. Wednesday, Thursdays tend to be the lowest volume, but call and say, hey, it's showing me red. How do I make sure that I am qualified? You can also email them. Phone number and email address are where on boards. You can guess that. You can find it in there. But if you don't see the red, then you're good to go. And we just need to set it up. So it's going to show your qualifying week, and there's going to be a color next to it. Okay. So this person, they are on the red week. Okay. So I'm just going to keep this in mind. Okay. I'm looking for red. I'm going to remember that. And then I'm going to go up to my subscription manager. I'm going to set up a new subscription. I'm going to add the products to my cart that I'm interested in. I'll tell you my motto with it is I'm going to pick 2 products that are not the drops, because I buy the drops in bulk. I pay like $72 for a box of drops. Why would I want to get 1 box in my subscription? Because then I'm paying $123, right? I'm cheap. I want to save that money. So I'm going to pick other products that I'm interested in. So Sugar Stop and Renew. Or I'm a big Limu gal, so I typically do Renew and Limu. Typically Renew and something is going to be what we're going to choose in our household, but you can rotate it. You can change it every single month. Doesn't really matter. Just you're looking for 100 PV for the amount of volume that you're going to order. And you're going to start the checkout process. Now it's going to ask you to pick your date, and it's going to open up a little calendar. And what you're looking for is the matching color. So if yours is red, you're going to have to go click in here and find the red. Now, again, I can barely see this. You might be younger than me. You might have better eyes. This might be easier on you. But what I do is I click on the week. And let's say I clicked on this blue, it's going to close. I'm going to click on this date again. It's going to open it again, and it's going to show me a blue circle. So I'm going to say, oh, nope, I didn't want blue. So then I'm going to go click on the next week, and it's going to close it out. I'm going to click on it again. It will open up the calendar and it will be filled in. So I will do that until I find the right week. The green one's kind of easy, but sometimes it's hard to see. Is it green? Is it blue? So if you click on it, it will fill in that bubble for you. So it'll be easier to see. And then you're going to continue through the checkout process. Now it's going to look like you're paying right then. Okay. So just know when you're checking it out, it's going to look like it's charging my credit card right now. but just realize that it's going to charge your credit card on whatever date you chose. And what you're looking for is the first matching color as closest to your week. So I could accidentally, let's just say, I hit this forward and I go to December and I pick a red in December. Well, I accidentally skipped November and I would be out of qualification if I didn't pick the next red that was in November. So you just want to choose the closest to your week of that color. So in this instance, let's kind of a hard example with red because I don't have two on here. But if let's just say it was blue was our color week. Well, most likely I would need this blue up here on the 3rd, not the blue down here on the 31st in order to be qualified. I think I might have made that a little bit more complicated, but just choose the closest to you color week that matches your qualifying color week. And that is your subscription. Now, we already talked about this a little bit, that we want to make sure that we are supporting our team. We're helping every single person get started properly. And one of the ways that we can do that we've really just created. So if you've seen this before and you're like, oh, I've clicked on that before, please go click on it again, because within the last 2 weeks, we added about 5 different videos in there to help you get started and help you start your people right. So make sure that as you're getting people started, you're sharing this with them. And again, if you do not have this on your board, please text me. My number's in the chat, and we will get you this link that you can use regardless of what board you're on, okay? Now, the next thing we need to know is how to see what's going on in our organization, right? I'm Golden Ultimate. Where do I want to place my next order, right? How would I know the next person that joins me? Or how do I know the health of my organization? How do I know what's going on with the team? The way that you're going to find that is under My Money and Volume. I look at this at least every Friday, but as you're growing, I would recommend kind of a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of flow so you know what's going on in your team. But the first thing that you would look at is your base commissionable volume. And a lot of times people ask, okay, I've got somebody to enroll. Where do I place them? How do I know where to put them in my organization? So I'm going to say the easiest way to tell, and my little cheat sheet would say red means stop. Okay. So in this instance, the red line would be the line 2. This is their power line. And we're going to love on our power line. We benefit from our power line. We need that power line, right? In order for this whole business to flow. But if I'm placing somebody in my organization, I'm going to place them in my pay line. So that's going to be my smaller line. So red means stop, green means go. You're going to place your next person in your line 1. Okay. If you need to know exactly where, you can open up your tree. You can look at it in there and you can, figure that out from there. But this is going to give you a good gist. Make sure that you're choosing your pay line, that green line, instead of the power line. Now, this report actually tells you even more. These are links that you can click on, and it's going to open up a report, and it's going to show you all of the orders that add up to that volume. And why does that matter? Well, I look at this throughout the week to see kind of the health of my organization and what's going on so that I can lovingly course correct people as needed. Now, what am I looking for when I go in here? 1, I'm looking at the name. And does the name and the email address kind of match? Because if it doesn't, then most likely this person is placing orders under somebody else. And that's somebody that is growing at a very fast rate. And I want to make sure that I'm loving on them and I'm supporting them appropriately. So I'm going to look at that. Then I'm going to look at the volume amount. And does it divide? Is it divisible by either 208 or 500? Right? If it does, then most likely they are following the system of growth. Okay. But if I see some wonky, in my terms, wonky numbers that don't quite add up, then I know that I need to go look and see what's going on in that order, because we may have gotten distracted. And we've all done it, right? I love Renew. You've heard me talk about it. That's my #1 subscription product. But I know if I start talking about it a lot, I can really slow down my team because it's not a product that stops the scroll on social media like the drops do. So if I start talking about it, whatever, well, I'm going to see a shift in my orders, and then I'm going to see a drop off in my orders. And I can see that right here. So what I do, and these are links as well, so I can click on the details and I'm going to look, okay, 576, that's kind of a weird number. Doesn't divide by 500, doesn't divide by 208. What's going on? I'm going to click on it, right? I'm going to open that up. And in this instance, the person ordered a 10 pack and 1 box of drops. Now we could say, great, they got 11 boxes. They must have sold a lot. I'm going to say, ooh, I'm cheap. They just spent at least $30 more on one of those boxes. So I'm going to have a little conversation with Aretha and say, hey, lady, congratulations on moving all those boxes. One of the things you might want to do is pre-sale a little bit, or order at least a 4-pack so that you get a discounted rate on that box, right? So it's just a little bit of conversation that we're going to have there. Next thing I'm going to look at is my striking distance report. I do this every single Wednesday. Why Wednesday? Because it gives me a little bit of time to work with the person. I like to look at the 3rd week. If you've never done this before, you're just getting started, you're going to want to start with week 4 because they have the least amount of time to get to Golden Ultimate. They have the least amount of time to hit whatever rank that is that they're looking for in that week. So I like to go with week 3 so that I have a full 10 days to help them get where they're going. But if you've never done this, start with week 4 because then you still have a couple of days to help them get to gold and get them to ultimate. So I sort by the week. And then I look at their business level. Now, Madonna, and I'm going to write all this down. Madonna, she's a rock star. She hit ultimate. So I'm gonna write her down, right? Don't laugh at me. Next, we've got Tina. Now she's a rock star too, but she didn't quite get there yet, right? So Tina, I'm gonna jot her down. I'm gonna put 192 next to her because I know that's what she lacks to hit ultimate. Next, we've got Whitney. She needs 424. You guys know how old I am by my rock stars here. Olivia, she's ultimate, so I'm going to put her down there, right? Stevie, ultimate. Dolly, she needs 500. Cindy needs 500. Linda needs 500. Kate Bush, she needs 424. Aretha needs 500. Okay, so I'm going to jot all that down. Why? Well, first of all, I'm a selfish little turtle. And if I call all these people and I say, oh my gosh, Tina, you just need 192 PV to get to Golden Ultimate. Here's the benefits, here are the perks, blah, 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 blah. And she goes and she moves those boxes, she places that order. What happens to my volume? It goes up, right? So that helps me. So selfish little turtle, but guess what? It's even bigger deal for them. So we're going to benefit, right? I'm really not a selfish turtle, but we're going to benefit, but it's going to help them too. That's going to help them get to their business level. So I want to call and I want to make sure that they know, but just realize this is a win-win for both of you. It's going to help them and it's going to help you. So make sure that you're both, you're reaching out to them and telling them what are the perks, what are the benefits, why, right? Now, the next calls that we're going to make is that anyone, so just like I said, anyone that's in week 3 or week 4 that has not achieved ultimate, we want to call them and we want to get them excited. We want to offer our help. Hey, lady, I see that you're almost, just shy of 200 PV from getting gold at ultimate. Do you know what that means? Do you know how big of a deal that is? Do you know how you can benefit forever from that? And once they understand that, then we can say, well, all you need is 1 4-pack of drops. You want to do a Facebook Live with me? And let's see if we can stir up some interest. Or would you want to do, we could place a pre-order, or we could get together and do a drop talk. Is there any phone calls, any follow-ups? Like, how can I help you move those 4 boxes of drops so that we can get you to that golden ultimate? Okay. So that's the first conversation I'm going to have. Next is everybody that achieved ultimate, and I haven't even met them yet. I haven't even celebrated them, right? So I'm going to call them and say, woohoo, congratulations, great work. Just wanted to give you a little bit of love. That's a big deal. And your next order, you're not going to order like you did before. let me know when it's time for you to get your next 10 pack, because we're going to actually place that under somebody else, and you're going to earn an extra $150 by, enrolling somebody and getting them started with your order. So we're going to talk to them about that so that they don't miss out on that $150, and we're loving on them a little bit, right? And we're going to offer them, maybe we'll want a drop talk. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then anybody that's ordering under somebody else, right? So they are, like we saw with that email address, didn't match the name. I'm going to reach out to them too. And I'm going to say, congratulations, looks like you're really thriving. You've not only hit Golden Ultimate, but you're ordering boxes. Tell me a little bit about your business. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. And maybe we can get together and do a drop talk. And so what is a drop talk? They're easy peasy. They can be in person. They can be online. They can, you can do it via Zoom. You can do it via Facebook Live, but it's a chance to get people together to help move the needle, to move from not just moving boxes, but helping people get started in their business so they can go from that, one time, I forget the name, whatever, one-time order to that recurring order, that long-term money, the money that gives us options. And so what does a drop talk look like? I'm going to tell you, we try to keep it short and sweet. This might come from my mom ways, but I think about them in babysitter hours. Okay. I want you to be able to have the babysitter show up. I want you to be able to drive to my house. I want you to see the entire presentation and drive home in one babysitter hour, because I don't want this to be an expense. I want you to come in and say, I could do that, right? Easy peasy. So that means that the whole presentation, everything is about 20 minutes maximum. So they're going to walk in. We're going to have a little bit of conversation, right? Thank you so much for coming. So glad you're here. How have you been? How are the kids? How's the cat? Right? And then we're going to welcome them into where we can play the video, or not the video. We can show the slide deck. Smart TV, a computer, an iPad. Worst case scenario, text it to everybody and they can look on their phones while you walk them through it. Okay. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And we're going to pull up the slide deck, the customer conversion slide deck that is on boards. It's already there for you. And we're going to walk them through it. This is, here are some signs of a hormone disruption. This is a company that's bringing the drops to the market. Here's some of the benefits that I'm sure you're already seeing, or if you haven't tried them yet, you will see very soon. Here's our approved food list. It's real food. It's nothing crazy. And here's a bunch of people benefiting, right? Click, 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 click. And then at the end, we're going to say, look, you can get another box from me, or you can pay $29.95 and you would be able to get it wholesale so you can save more money, or even tap into our system where you can share these boxes and we can help you make some money. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I'd love for you to be on my team. Any questions, whatever, are you ready to get started, right? That's the presentation. Grab a buddy to do it with you. Grab somebody on the phone if you can't have somebody there in person or on Zoom or whatever, and just know that we will support you the best we can. Alan's like, I've been trying to get you on a Thursday night. We're getting there, Alan. We're getting there. But we will help you the best that we can, and we'll make that happen. So easy peasy, and just realize you don't need, a leader or whatever there. Grab a buddy, right? It's, whoever got you started on the drops, go have them do it with you. And you can practice back and forth a little bit to get a little bit more comfortable, but they are designed to be very, very simple. But that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Thank you so much for being here.